And welcome back. We're going to continue our Forge development process. Today, we're going to be covering building and deploying a Forge app. And I have a special guest. My wife is going to be helping us out because she's actually done this before. And this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where we're going to actually build something. And she's already gone through these steps and basically told me, you're going to need some help. And so I brought an expert and we're going to be doing this together. All right. So let's jump into building and deploying a Forge app. And by the end of this lesson, you're going to be able to create a new Forge app with a suitable template using Forge CLI, explore the structure of the generated app, including files and folders, identify and configure modules within the app to enable specific functionalities, update the manifest YAML and index.JSX file to fit the app's requirements. Recognize the environments available in Forge and how apps are deployed between them. Describe what it means to install a Forge app on an Atlassian instance, and use Forge install commands to install and update apps. And as I mentioned, this is going to get very technical, very, very hard, and very, very quickly. And
It'll be hard. You'll be okay.
So thanks for being here. All right, so building your first app. Now that you have all the tools set up to build a Forge app, you can look at building a simple app. The goal is not to build something complex, but to familiarize yourself with the core workflow and file infrastructure so you can confidently begin customizing and expanding your apps. So here's a scenario. Your engineering team is working on a support project and each Jira work item needs to be handled according to the assigned priority level. Team members often forget or misapply the correct process. You decide to build a simple Forge app using Jira issue panel that displays priority guidelines right inside of the work item view to remind users what to do. So we're going to create, so we're going to install a folder, right? We're going to run the create Forge and start the scaffolding of the app. We're going to develop, we're going to edit these manifest file and modify this front end file to get this UI to work. Then we're going to deploy it and then we're going to install it. So let's create the app. So after setting up the development environment, open your terminal. So we're going to run Forge create. And so we're going to go back over here to our window, which I don't know how to make any bigger. Do you know how to make zoom in on this?
Zoom in.
I tried already to.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, look at that. If only life was so simple. Okay, so we're going to type in Forge create.
And that's where you name your app. So they tell you what to name it in there.
Okay, so we're going to give it a name, and this is going to be Jira issue priorities. Copy. And we're going to paste this, get rid of the period,
and
enter. I forgot the J, but
it's okay. You can rename it later.
All right. Select the context. So Forge apps are specific to Atlassian apps. Here we select Jira as the app context. So you're going to come down with your arrow keys and select Jira, click enter. Select the category. This has gone a lot easier than the last time I did this, by the way.
Yes, they are way more clear on their steps this time around with this documentation.
And then we're going to select the template. So we're going to use the issue panel.
Be careful because there's a lot of them. You don't want to choose the wrong one.
Oh, I do see that. Okay. Jira issue panel.
Yep.
Enter. And that's going to download the template, register the app, create the environment, install the dependencies, and do a bunch of other stuff.
On your local computer.
On the local computer.
It's not on the Atlassian
instance yet. And in this directory, so you're gonna want to remember where the heck this is being installed, especially if you've never used a terminal before. It might not be straightforward.
Well, my tip is for you to use your document area and create a folder that's specific for this stuff, and then CD into that folder.
But if you install it just the way they're telling you, it just puts it in your home directory.
Yes.
How do you move?
How do you move?
Yeah, because it's too late for me to move, no?
Well, it's created in your home directory, so you have to redo these steps before.
So I would have to reinstall Forge, but in a different directory?
No, you just have to move your folder for your project. So
I will create a folder and CD into it and then run the Forge create. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're letting that install, but in the meantime, we're going to be exploring the app's file structure. So Forge has now created your app from the app template. Open the app directory in your preferred code editor, for example, Visual Studio Code, to look at its directory structure and download the file and the downloaded files. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go into Visual Studio. We're going to look at the source. This is going to contain the source code for our app. The front end is going to be where that front end code is going to be at that we're going to modify, specifically that index.jsx. So we're going to be modifying that. We have our resolvers that are going to be set for us. I don't think we're touching those. And then we have the manifest, which is something we're going to touch here as well.
The resolvers is where you call if you use API, that's like the backend.
Okay.
That's the backend
I
stuff.
wonder why they didn't just call it backend.
I don't know.
Because they called it front end on the other one.
Well, they didn't used to be called front end before.
I know. I remember before it used to just be way more confusing.
Yeah. Now they made it a little more clear on the structure.
Okay. So let's see if it finished installing. And it did. And let's now open up Visual Studio Code and jump into that directory. So we're going to go to our, hopefully where our Visual Studio Code is at. I think it's my downloads.
Oh yeah, be careful. Don't delete it from downloads or it'll be gone forever.
Yeah, so here's Visual Studio Code. Let's see if I can zoom in on this one. We can a little bit. Okay. Should be a little bit easier. We're going
to file. I can open, yeah, I can do that too. Open a folder and you have to go to that directory where you have that.
I'm just going to open this up here. Okay. Yes. Okay. So now that the Forge app has been set up, your app scaffolding based on your Jira issue panel, it's time to bring your app to life by defining its functionality and user interface. To do this, you'll modify a few files. So we're going to start with the manifest. This app displays content in a Jira issue panel using the Jira issue panel module. Jira shows the title of the Jira issue panel as the panel's heading. Let's change the title to Team Guidelines by Priority. So we're going to copy this text. Make sure you grab all of it this time. And it says, in the app's top level directory, open the manifest YAML file. Oh, look, a little error here. They didn't make that bold. Okay, so we're going to find the manifest YAML. That's the first step. So that's here. And then it says, find the
title.
Find the title. So we're looking at this. So we're going to look for title here. We're going to paste that text there. So here's title, and we're going to come here. We're going to paste it there. And then it says save. So I'm just going to Command S. See if that did anything. Hopefully it did. And that's it.
Except there's another tab. They don't make it clear that you have to follow two things. Go up, 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 up. Oh. Now you have to change that.
Now we got to go to the index one and do this. Okay, so yeah. So keep in mind you're going to do this on two files. So now we got to find this code or this particular file. And we're going to find this text code right here. It says hello world. And we're going to replace it with this. So we're going to copy all of this.
You're going to have to do a little bit of cleanup because
it won't paste properly.
Okay. It pastes the numbers.
So we're going to go to source front end index. We're looking for this text here. We're going to paste that in. Wow, I see what you're saying. Is there a way to paste without formatting? Okay, so now we want to clean this up then. So, all right, so we're cleaning this file up.
And that one you might want to leave some space because if you note, one of them says high priority and the other one says medium priority. So I think they're doing kind of like the levels.
What do you mean by leave some space?
Because this text is going to be printed there. So you want to make it readable to the...
But since this is like HTML code, don't I have to add like a line break then? To give myself spaces?
I don't know. I don't know how I don't know how text works, but they had spaces in their thing, so I don't know. We'll see.
I see what you're saying. So put in this 5 right here.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, let's put it in. Let's just see what it does. And then we're going to save that file. Development is not complete. You can now move on to deploying the app. Wow, that was fast. Okay. So, hi, I quickly wanted to interrupt your video to let you know about something big that I've been working on. I'm working on the Big Book of Atlassian, and this is going to be given exclusively away to attendees that show up to the Atlassian Builder Summit happening October 22nd through the 24th in Long Beach, California. This is a completely free event, a completely free book that you can only get if you come to our in-person event. This is something that's super awesome. I am really happy to be putting this together. You can only get this in person. So make sure that you attend our very free event. All you need to worry about is your travel accommodations. We do have discounts for hotels. Use that link down below. Sign up for the Atlassian Builders Conference, and I hope to see you in October. And come secure your free copy of the Big Book of Atlassian. I'll see you in October. When you're building your app with Forge, you'll work across 3 environments. Your dev,
which is what you're currently working on.
My staging, which is where we're moving to. and then production, which is the ultimate goal.
Yes.
So each environment is isolated from the others, which means you can test your changes in development without affecting production users. This structure helps prevent unintended disruptions and keeps your app lifecycle manageable and safe. So if you want more flexibility than the default ones, you can create and manage your own custom environments with Forge environment commands. All right, so let's deploy. So now that you've built your first app locally, it's time to deploy it to the Atlassian cloud. To do this, run the Forge deploy command in the CLI. So when you run Forge deploy, a few things happen. Code preparation, your code is bundled. Pre-deployment check, Forge checks the manifest is valid and all required permissions are declared. It also runs the Forge lint command, which ensures your code is free of errors before being deployed. And then we have deployment, which is the app is loaded to the Forge runtime and deployed to the default environment. So it sounds like we're just going to run Forge deploy.
Okay, this is where I'm gonna stop you so that you don't get, unless you want to do it and show the error.
Well, yeah.
Maybe you can. That way people know what to expect, and if they see that, what to do.
So just to recap, then all I've done is save the 2 file changes. I haven't moved anything. So technically, if I hit ls, I am not in my directory.
No. So you need to get to your directory.
Because if I hit force deploy, as the instructions say, what are we?
You get an error.
We get an error.
Which tells you that you're not in your top level you're in the wrong directory. So what you have to do is cd to the project folder.
Which I misspelled with the missing J. So now I'm in the right place.
Yes.
So now I should be able to force command.
Force deploy.
Force deploy. And now it's running lint. It's doing everything it said it would do. So folks, in case you missed it, then the big gotcha here is that normally based on if you've been following along, we haven't cd'd into the directory to deploy. So missing step here in Atlassian's documentation.
Yeah, you have to cd into the actual folder for your project.
All right, so while that's going, we're going to deploy. And so after deploying your app and before you can use your Forge app in action, you need to install it. So think of the installation as connecting your deployed code to the live production instance. So to install your app, use the command forge line install Forge install in the CLI where you run Forge install. Forge will prompt you with a few questions about your site. You're going to select your context. You're going to pick Jira, enter the site URL, which we got to go grab. And then do you want to continue? Yes. So we're going to grab this one because I think...
Yeah, grab your site first.
I think it's this one here.
Did you set up the development environment, that one?
All I did was go to the Atlassian development bundle and download it from there.
Okay.
So let's see where we're at. Okay, so we're going to do Forge install. We're going to select Jira. We're going to paste in our URL. Yes. Read the warnings, people. You're about to install a development app. Okay, yes. Okay, so it starts to install. And we're going to wait for this install in Jira complete.
What is your warning?
It says we're going to production. If you do not intend to test your app, we strongly recommend that you deploy your app to production and install the production version instead.
Mine did not give me that. Well, maybe because mine is set up as a developer site.
Why? I mean, I don't know. I haven't done anything other than I went to the URL to create a developer bundle, which comes with Jira and Confluence and for 5 users and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the app is installed. We got the confirmation. Forge securely links to your app. Okay, you now can interact. So for example, a panel, work item, or a macro influence. So what does it do? So here's what we're going to do.
This is how to check it now.
So once you built your app and deployed it and installed it, the next step is to see it in action. So Forge apps will appear in the apps dropdown within the Jira work item, the module's name, and your manifest file. So we can go into Jira. Sorry, force a habit. We got to go into a project. So we don't have any projects in this first one. So we're going to create a project first.
Did they walk you through creating a project?
No walkthrough.
Okay, I think that should be important. Like something that we should provide feedback. Because some people might not know how to create a project.
Yeah, make your Jira project. If you've never done one, you'll need one. Okay, and then we wait a little bit.
And does it matter what type of project they create?
I don't think so. I think Jira is usually not picky. So creating the project is one thing, but the second thing is you got to create work because we need a story, a Forge story. So now that we have a story, we can just Mr. Quick Start Guide zoom in here. And so here there's an app. So sorry, there's an app section. And here's our app that we made, team guidelines by priority.
Well, before you do that, why don't you open it as a card or the other view where it shows?
Where it's the full screen?
Yes, that way it's easier.
Here we go. We have the apps, team guideline by priority. And here's our dev area. And so
okay, so the adding the space extra line doesn't matter.
No. Okay, so this one was kind of weird. All it did was just give you helper text.
Yeah, so basically what the app that you created gives you like a kind of like a guidance for the team, kind of to guide the team to know what priority to put on the story.
Yeah.
Which is something that you can do differently, but this is just an example of something you could create.
So you've installed your Forge app, but then you made some code tweaks to it. Maybe you changed some text or updated a function. You redeployed the app to the development using Forge deploy, but you don't see those changes live on your site yet. To reflect those updates, you just run the command forge install -- upgrade. This command updates the existing installation with the latest deployed code. It saves you from having to uninstall and reinstall the app manually. Okay.
So this command that you're seeing here, which they're not giving you any steps to do, is if you were to make more changes to your...
Later.
Yes, to your app.
Okay, cool. So let's see what we learned. Isabel is working on a Forge app and wants to ensure her changes don't affect users until they are fully tested. She needs to choose the right environment for testing new features with her team. Which environment should Isabel use? Development. Right? That's the first one. No. Staging. So that was kind of not clear to me. So we
stage it first.
Well, when we
well,
didn't
no,
we
develop first.
We developed.
What is the question again?
She needs to choose the right environment for testing new features with her team. Which environment should Isabel use to safely test new features? But like that's what I'm saying, right? Like this was not clear when we went with these steps, right? We developed it, right? We hit save and then we hit the deploy.
You never did the staging.
Right, but we just hit forge deploy. When do you
So this is what I was gonna bring up. I didn't know when to bring it up, but I think right now is a good time. Staging, I believe, is when you do Forge tunnel, where you're working on it on the as a developer, but your users cannot see it. So when you're tunneling, you can instantly see the changes in your dev environment, and you can see how the app is working without affecting your end users. Because when you deploy, then it goes to your users. So your users
goes to production.
Goes to production. So go to the production, and your users will be able
to see. But I thought
it.
that's what the install's for.
No, the install installs it into your production. The Forge deploy, the Forge tunnel, which is not here, and I don't know if they're gonna show it, is when you're kind of in your little sandbox. If you're thinking of Jira, right? You're in the sandbox, trying out things, seeing changes, how they affect your app, and that's your staging. That's why I don't understand why they're asking this question if they didn't show a staging area.
Welcome to Atlassian Questions. Naya has completed her app development and is ready to deploy it using Forge. She wants to understand the steps involved in the deployment process. What happens when Naya runs the Forge deploy command? So the app is bundled, check for errors, and deployed. This one. See, but this is to the specified environment, but I never call that an environment.
No, wait.
This is the right one, but...
Yeah, but it's not in the... You don't do it in the deploy, you do it in the install, don't you?
No, she wants to ready.
No, but for the specific environment.
For the specified environment, but
you don't specify one in deploy.
We haven't specified the environment. That's what's confusing me.
That's in the install. In the install is where you specify the environment. But once you have installed it already, then you do a Forge deploy update. So I guess they're assuming you already had installed before.
Probably, I don't know. Again, these questions don't always make the most sense. Jay has deployed his Forge app and now needs to install it on his company Jira site. What does installing do? So it uploads. No, I think this one.
Yeah.
And the last question, Becky has an updated has updated and redeployed her Forge app, but she doesn't see the changes in her Atlassian site. She needs to ensure the latest code is reflected.
She has to do the update.
Upgrade.
Great, yeah. I always say update. I don't know why.
Yay, we earned a second badge. So folks, that's pretty much it for this one. Hopefully your app worked. If it didn't, if we ran into any errors, let us know in the comment section down below. Hit that subscribe button if you like this content. Hit that like button if you really like this content. And stick around though, because we're not quite done yet. Up next, we're going to expand our Forge skills and we're going to work with data and get a little bit more advanced. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and we'll see you in the next one.